Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Andy from wholesale-help.com and welcome to another episode of Reader's Questions.
Reader's Questions!
Today's question comes from Glenn right here on the YouTube channel. What are you saying, Glenn?
I have a question.
You do?
I am new to eBay and plan to sell items slow to begin with, but obviously I want to speed it up.
Obviously.
How do I handle shipping multiple items a day? I'm not too worried about the time aspect, more the cost. Are there any tips that you have for saving time or money? Do you always use the postal service or sometimes FedEx? Do you have your own label printer and scale?
All right, Glenn, thank you very much for your question. Before we get started, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's purchased my eBay tutorial DVD last week. My initial batch of stock was completely sold out in less than a week, which was a real surprise and a pleasant surprise. Because as a result of your purchases, you've managed to raise over £250 for Cancer Research UK, which is a real achievement. So if you purchased a copy, thank you. You've made a difference. So there's a new stock available now if you haven't picked up your own copy of my eBay tutorial DVD. A link to the video that tells you all about it is in the description box below. But with that said, let's get started. It's a good question, Glenn. Thank you very much for it. I don't think we've covered the subject of mass postage, so it's a good place as any to start. There's no specific answer to this as such because there are many different ways to post. Some of them will be country specific and they'll cost various different things. Now, it does depend on your priorities. From your comment, you say time is not an aspect but money. So there are a couple of ways you can keep your costs down, but for other people, time might be more of a factor than the cost. So for a little bit more money, you can find a more convenient solution. If you're selling just 1 or 2 items a day, you're going to be on the set rate. But once you get past a certain level, you will be able to achieve some discounted postage from your country's postal service and also the couriers. For my part, I use the integrated postal application on eBay. It's very convenient, it's very handy, and it's easy to do. And those things for me make a difference. I don't use it for everything. Some items I courier, but a lot of the items I send through eBay, which makes my life a lot easier. Certainly in the UK, if you've got larger and heavier items, you're going to get much better value by going to the couriers and getting a set rate for under 10 kilos, for example, than you would do sending a similar heavy object via the post office. So once you get over 1 or 2 kilos, I would start looking for the courier option. If you've got relatively thin and light things, then the post office is the way to go. So let's quickly go over to eBay and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so this is one of my eBay accounts. This is in the sold section. As you can see here on the right, you have the actions column. I've already sent these off, so it's not showing up at the moment, but down here, the first thing you would see is print postage label. So once you've sold your item, you can just simply click on that and it will take you through to the page where you can purchase your postage label. Ignore this thing here, it's just reminding me I've already bought a label for this item. I know that, I'm just giving an example. So all you have to do is put in your package weight, you tell it what type of parcel is it, whether it's a letter, a large letter or a parcel. That depends on the size and the weight. You can find that out in the eBay how-tos, and also Google is your friend. Depending on what country you are, that may vary. But your post office will have certain size brackets and will price accordingly. Let's just say it's a parcel size. It's under 1 kilo, so I'm going to put 0.9. Dimensions are optional, so obviously we don't include that. And then you click on calculate. So then it will give you a list of options. You can go Royal Mail second class, small parcel, second class medium parcel. Then you've got Royal Mail signed for second class, small parcel. That's where you get proof of delivery. It's not tracked as such, but you get proof of delivery. They have to sign for the parcel at the other end. If it gets lost in the system between you and the delivery, then you're on your own. But you will be able to tell if the buyer's actually received the item, which is quite important because that will put off the people that like to try and pretend they haven't got it and get their money back. If you're selling anything more than, say, £5 in value, you should at least have a signed for option, if not tracked, because there is always someone out there willing to cheat and say they haven't got it just to get their money back. Another option we have in the UK is Collect Plus, which is a really good option. It's slightly more expensive. It's £4.74, but it is totally tracked. What's really handy is you can drop it off at a lot of local stores and petrol stations and all things like that, convenience stores. and a lot of those stores are open till, say, 10 o'clock at night. So if you're busy at work, or say you get a late purchase at, say, 8 o'clock at night, and you'd like to get it going, you can actually print off that label and drop it off at your local Collect Plus store that evening. So it'll be picked up first thing in the morning by the Collect Plus courier, which is fantastic. It's actually really handy. I've done that several times. I've had a purchase just before I'm leaving town for a few days, and I was able to pack it up just before I left and drop it off at the store for it to make its way there the next day. Very handy indeed, and actually not too expensive for a courier. $4.74 is very cheap. And then you've got Parcel Force Express, 48 hours, which is the Royal Mail's courier service. That's a 48-hour option. As you can see, it starts getting expensive. For £11.99, it's nearly £12. You can get, for that same money, you can get next day UPS courier, TNT, and all the top line couriers for that sort of money. So then that's where it starts to get not particularly good value. Although this one, Royal Mail Special Delivery Guaranteed by 1 p.m. is £8.25, and that's not too bad. Maximum weight of 20 kilos, compensation up to £500 included. It's pretty good. As far as convenience goes, this is really, really handy because it pre-fills the customer's address, it pre-prints your postage onto the label, and it deducts it from your PayPal balance. So it takes it out exactly from where your money's gone into, which makes it very neat and tidy from an accounting perspective as well. All I do is I purchase what's called 2-up labels, which means if you can imagine an A4 sheet, if that's cut in half, you have 2 labels about the same size of half a sheet of A4. And they go into my printer, and you just print one, and it will print on one of those labels, so you can get 2 labels per sheet of A4. They cost pennies per sheet. Print the label, peel it off, slap it on a padded envelope or a mail bag, and off it goes. Very simple, very easy. Obviously, you're in the US, Glenn, so the services might be slightly different, but as far as the eBay integrated postage goes, that's how easy it can be and how easy it works. Once you've done it a few times, you'll get the grip of it and you'll work out which one's convenient for you, and then it's just a case of rinse and repeat. Okay, Glenn, that's giving you a quick oversight of the eBay integrated postal services. They're very quick, very convenient, and competitively priced. The only way you can get your prices down is by selling more stuff and getting bulk discounts from couriers. But that will come with time as your business grows. In the medium term, the integrated features on eBay are very handy, very quick, and very convenient. That just about wraps it up for this episode, so thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you haven't picked up my eBay tutorial DVD, there is a new stock available. The link to the video that gives you the full rundown is in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Andy Lawrence, and I will catch you on the very next video.